poorly. Get in on the interactive experience now by logging on to show.com. How do you have it on the card after 3, Steve Farhood?
2-1 for George Walton. I gave him the first 2.
And he opens the ball here with a solid right. And a right to the body. So Walton taking the initiative. Fighting his way through Ravelo's jab. And he has Jerson Ravelo on the ropes where he wants him. Ravelo taps him back with a right. But his left hand is low. And it's Blaze Walton getting off first.
For single shots, that Walton right hand is the big punch in this fight. Ravelo more of a combination puncher. If he can put them together as he did in the 3rd round, then he can control the round. So it's really Walton's power, the one shot, against Ravelo's speed, quickness, and combination.
Get off first, Jerson. Keep feeding them the jabs and walking around.
Jerson Ravelo in red, white, and blue. And the mostly blue and white is George Walton. Trying to walk Ravelo down cautiously. But look at that low left hand from Walton. Will he be open for a right hand lead? Ravelo just staring his man down, but both men have virtually stopped punching here.
See, I think Walton's happy to take the rest. His left hand's by his side, and he's not rushing in when Ravelo's stationary. So he should be. He should be making the fight.
That's it. You just keep walking around.
Walton does a good job of avoiding that right hand from Ravelo.
That's a good jab by
that
Ravelo.
jab, yes.
That was the best one, I think, so far.
He's not keeping it in George Walton's face. Not enough to knock him back, not enough to discourage him. Walton coming forward again. It's hard for any fighter, but particularly a young one, Steve, to fight off his back leg.
Nice right hand lead by Ravelo. First time we saw that, and landed flush.
I think he sees George Walton's hand, left hand low. Now they're up again.
Look at that jab, Jerson. Touch him with that jab.
Walton with decreasing activity.
Unless something happens here in round 4, this would be the toughest round of all to call. And Walton walked into a shot there from Ravelo, who timed his lunge beautifully and nailed him when he was reaching. And that seemed to take it out of George Walton. Will he get out of this round? He's got to hold on. Oh, as he crumbles to the canvas. And saved by the bell is George Walton. Let's listen in to a frantic corner.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. How you feel? No retreat, no surrender. You hear me? You hear me? You hear what I said? Okay. Okay, listen. How we doing, Dave? We doing great. We doing great. Yeah. Listen, listen. We're going to come out with a 1-2 and cover you. A 1-2. We're going to drop down. I don't want you fighting high. And let that right hand go and hold it with the left uppercut. You hear me? Listen, you're going to come right out. You hear me? How you feel, baby? You good? Let's get this, G.
It was a right hand that started it. One shot by Ravelo. Watch the right hand. They fired at the same time. Both right hands. Ravelo with this better hand speed and the straighter shots. Then it took him a second to realize his man was in trouble. Look at how he keeps the right distance to extend his arms and land the right shots where Walton wants to get close to cover up. Ravelo did not let Walton hold. As a result, what happened? We saw George Walton topple.
Jerson Ravelo, I thought, did a stellar job of staying composed, as you pointed out, Steve, not getting ahead of himself and fighting under control. A 10-8 round for him. A 4th round where nothing was happening, and suddenly George Walton, the shorter guy, takes the risk and gets caught reaching. His instructions: get in there with the right and the left. Get in with a big right hand and then fire an uppercut. In other words, start swinging for the fences. And he is. George Walton's abandoned the jab for now.
See how straight up Walton is? Not bending much anymore. Something I pointed out before.
And Dylan Parsley does not want that. The trainer said, you got to get low. You can't stand tall. You're right, Steve. Now there's some infighting, but some of the starch has been taken out of Blaze Walton.
No reason for Gary to break them there. One arm free on each fighter. Referee shouldn't break them.
Strategy for Jerson Ravelo now. We're in the 5th heat scheduled for 8. He had his man hurt in the 8th. He had him down. How should he fight?
Combinations. Try to back his man up. Guard against that right hand. Get your left hand up.
Walton launches that left hook out of nowhere. Again, he is throwing major league shots here, abandoning the jab for the most part, trying to keep his hands up. Ravelo picking his shots. There goes the jabs.
Tough fight for George Walton. Remember, he's coming off his first loss. He was 11-0. He's been self-managed his whole career. This is a guy with a good amateur background. Ravelo has great connections. Manager Gary Gittleson, Lou DeBella as an advisor. This is really the haves against the have-nots in a sense. And Ravelo is definitely the haves.
George Walton said, this is my chance. He squandered a lot of his abilities, he thought. He's got to go for it here, he said on national TV. Holding and hitting. Now Walton's in close. Can he stand up to Ravelo's power shots? Doesn't look like it. He's undeterred, but he is taking punches and punishment.
Walton is square now. He can't match Ravelo's output. He's not bending.
Ravelo with that sweeping straight right hand. Hands down by Walton.
I got you, fellas. Right. None of this. None of this. None of this. Come on. No holding. Jerson, keep your hands working.
George Walton battling gamely, but he was shaken and down. Round 4 as they slug at the bell, and it's Ravelo with the stare down. And another round for him, Steve. Huh?
Well, so I'll tell you, Walton landed a big shot at the end.
So how do you have it after 5?
I need a jab.
28-46 for Ravelo.
You got some ice? I need some ice. I need that jab a little more. Put the hands down. Put the hands down. Sit back in the back. Sit back, baby. That was a good round. That was your round. That was your round. I need you to move. I want you slipping. He's just as tired as you. I need you slipping, making him miss, making him think you hurt. Slip, slip, make him work. Okay. Next round, we'll go back out like you little. Okay. That was beautiful. All right, D. I want you to host this round. If you see the shot, take it. If you see it, take it. If not, just keep it.
What round is this? What round is this?
This is 7 coming.
7 coming? Or 6?
What round is it? 6.
6 coming, coach.
Good, baby.
No, listen to me, man. Seconds out. All right? Outside. Just work
Steve,
out.
it's apparent they want George Walton to take a breather and not to take any shots in this round. That's pretty improbable.
Also bad strategy because it's only an 8-round fight. He got knocked down. You know that's a 10-8 round for Ravelo. Now how is Walton supposed to win the fight on points?
They're going for broke. They want him to get his wheels back under him maybe, get a second wind, and then go for it all in the 7th and 8th. That's all it could be.
Walton's made a pretty nice recovery from that knockdown at the end of round 4. He's backing Ravelo up, or he did last round anyway. Let's see what happens here.
Ravelo avoiding those shots. Strictly using the jab here early in round 6. There's a 4-punch combination. Double jab, that right, and then back with a hook. Ravelo pumps up the volume nicely.
It's easy to say to Walton, don't lunge. But, you know, he's fighting a 6'2" opponent who's keeping his distance. Kind of hard not to lunge if you want to land a punch.
Well, the strategy's out the window. Walton's trying to walk his man down and slug with him. So forget about the breather.
That 4th round knockdown was the 2nd knockdown suffered in Walton's pro career.
I got you, fellas. I got you. Now, punch. Get down.
Jerson Ravelo has never been down, never been beaten. And he's getting somewhat of a test here tonight, but he has taken control of this fight. A shot there. That right hand by Walton, a short little 18-inch punch. Just numbed Jerson Ravelo. So he's down seconds after we speak about him never being so.
Ruled no knockdown by Brian Gary.
It looked like a delayed reaction.
I tell you, Walton's back was to me. I didn't see the punch land.
I got you, fellas. No, get out.
There could have been a tangle of feet here.
Yeah, he landed a right hand, but I think the effect of Walton, Ravelo going down might have been a tangle of feet.
Ravelo doesn't appear to be hurt as he stands and trades with Walton. Good or bad idea, Steve?
Good idea, but he's not bending. He has to bend. When he stands there and Ravelo throws combinations, they all land because Walton's head is not moving.
But what about Ravelo standing there and slugging?
You know, at this point, I don't know if it's that bad an idea. He's landed 3-1.
There again with that left hook. Punch together.
When they fire at the same time, Ravelo's going to always land first. Walton's punches are much wider.
George Walton